Todo's got 4 abilities and a special just like any other character, but his special is truly special, so we're going to make an entire separate part for his special. His 1 is Swift Kick. It has 2 separate hits and a throw totaling 17 damage. The first hit is blockable, second one isn't. Both can hit Ragdoll and will force them to get up. If you miss the first hit, then the dash that comes after will take longer to start. His 2 is Brute Force. If it hits directly, it deals 17.5 damage, and if you miss, then it will deal 6 damage. It is unblockable and can hit Ragdoll. While the target is flying away, then they are unable to use their evasive. His 3 is Pebble Thrower. It deals 4 damage, it is blockable, and hits Ragdoll. If you hit a Ragdoll, then it will force them to get up. Pressing R will follow it by teleporting to who you hit and dealing 7.25 more damage. If your Pebble didn't hit anyone, you can teleport to it and glide forwards. During this glide, if you press 2, you will perform the Brutal Impact variant dealing 17.5 damage. If you press 2 again right before the kick lands, you'll perform the Brutal Impact Black Flash, dealing 18 damage. Yeah, it got a little over-nerfed and only deals 0.5 more damage than just using Brutal Impact, so only really use it for style points, honestly. His 4 is Double Drop. It has 2 hits that total to 10 damage, it is unblockable and cannot hit Ragdoll. During the duration of the uppercut, the target cannot use their evasive. So yeah, Todo is pretty much an unblockable merchant. There's a lot of unique ways to connect these abilities, so keep an eye out for that in part 5, because up next is the part you're probably here for, and that's... There are lots of variations to Todo's Boogie Woogie, so let's get started. Swap. Aiming at an enemy and pressing your special button will swap your position with your target's position, putting it on a 6-second cooldown. It can be blocked, which will instead put it on a 3-second cooldown and not swap your positions. However, if you're close enough to the enemy, your Boogie Woogie will become unblockable. Ragdoll Swap. Swapping with an opponent who's ragdolled will make your swap significantly quicker to execute, and will not switch the camera direction with your opponent. More on that later. Item Swap. You can also swap positions with banana peels, TNTs, and other throwables. This will put your swap on a 3-second cooldown no matter what. Target Swap. Pressing special over one target and then again over another target will swap both of their positions. Either target can block it unless those 2 targets are close enough to each other. Ability Feint. Using swap in the middle of an ability will immediately cancel your ability animation and begin a swap. Your swap will be quicker and your ability and special will go on cooldown. This works on everything except for when Pebble from Pebble Throw is active. Swap Feint. In the middle of any swap, pressing M1 before the swap occurs will feint the swap, meaning you clap your hands, but nobody switches positions and your special will not go on cooldown unless it's used during the ability feint. This is also known as a feint feint. A feint can be good to cancel abilities while keeping your position. Perfect Swap. Now for the greatest of swaps, the Perfect Swap. The Perfect Swap is how you avoid ever putting your special on cooldown. It's how you see those clips of Todo mains turning their opponent's brain into mush. You see, for a brief window after executing a swap, a ragdoll swap, or target swap, pressing M1 will perform a perfect swap. Your cooldown and awakening cost will be refunded. If your swap is blocked though, then this will not apply. You know you did the perfect swap correctly if you hear this electric noise after you clap, as well as a flash of blue on your character. The window to perform a perfect swap is relatively generous, but you still should practice the timing as much as you can to build muscle memory and perform a swap almost instinctively. If you have to think about the timing for performing a perfect swap, then you're thinking too much and it's time to keep practicing. Now, utilizing the perfect swap, there are some extremely creative mix-ups that you can perform to play mind games on your opponent, known as... Hold up, you like money, right? Well, here's $100. I'm not joking, take it. See, I'm hosting an $100 Aoi Todo clip competition. What do you gotta do? Well, just record yourself playing Todo and JJS and hitting a cool or funny clip. Seriously, that's it. Well, okay, that's not really it, but here are the rules. 1, you have to record a clip as Todo and upload it as a YouTube short with the tag #OglesATC. The O is a 0, by the way. It's also preferable if you @ me as well, just to make sure I see it. 2, you can edit it however you want, there just has to be some sort of music. If you really want to win me over, here's some of my favorite artists. And 3, you probably want to put some sort of watermark over your clip just because other people are gonna try and steal it, so. Oh, and 4, well, you gotta be subscribed, of course. You can post as many clips as you want, but just know that I'm picking the winner based off mostly if the clip is cool or funny. The submission window will end on May 11th. After that point, I'll announce a winner. Anyways, enough of that, back to the video. The Art of Boogie Woogie, or the Art of the Swap, a true boundless craft that can be molded into your own playstyle. The way you adapt the swap will always be unique to you. Sun Tzu. He for real said that. Jokes aside, there are a couple very important concepts to grasp about swapping. First is that swapping with your opponent doesn't just cause you to inherit their position, but also their direction as well. This same rule applies to them. The only exception is when you swap with a ragdolled opponent. Using this, you can force your opponent to inherit a disadvantageous camera direction. You begin your swap and turn around before it completes, making it to where you will end up behind your opponent with them facing away from you, known as a swap turn. Truly a 530,000 IQ move. Now this isn't exactly a flawless strategy. You inheriting the opponent's direction means that you are prone to accidentally confusing yourself. And also this simply does not work against players using lock-on. Inheriting a bad camera direction brings me to my next swap concept. Shift lock. When you have shift lock disabled, your camera direction can never be changed unless you do it yourself. So this diverges us into two paths. One that never leaves shift lock, we'll call it the tiger swap set, and one that toggles shift lock off when swapping. I'll call it the pareidolia swap set. The tiger swaps are easier to pick up, but it runs the risk of mixing yourself up. The pareidolia swaps are much harder to learn, but does not run that risk. To learn the pareidolia swaps, practice this over and over. Press your swap and shift lock button at the same time. Then when you finish swapping, press M1 and your shift lock button at the same time to relock your camera and perform a perfect swap. Just keep doing this over and over until you build muscle memory. After some time, it just becomes natural for you to turn off shift lock when you plan on swapping. And now that you understand the paintbrush of Boogie Woogie, let's craft it into you. Mix-ups are when you perform swaps repetitively to try and confuse your enemy and catch them off guard. We're going to cover a couple mix-ups that you can learn to get the ball rolling. First is the double swap. Swap turn your target once, and as soon as the swap completes, you begin another swap turn. This way, by the time that your opponent has reacted to the first swap, the second swap is already completed and you can dash in. Next, we got the super swap. Hit your target with an uppercut and begin ragdoll swap turn. When the opponent wakes up, your final ragdoll swap will cause them to be facing away and you can immediately follow up again. You see, even though the ragdoll swap won't swap camera positions, starting a ragdoll swap right before they get up will keep the speed of the ragdoll swap, but it still will swap the cameras. Last is the triangle swap. Swap turns slightly once, then immediately do it again, then again once more. Your opponent will get caught up trying to react to the previous two swaps, so once you complete the third, then you can dash in. Now where your own playstyle comes in is when you combine and create mix-up to your heart's content. Adapt it and find what works best for you. And now that you're good at swapping, let's add some style to the mix with. For Todo's swift kick, you can easily bait your opponent's evasive or counter if you dash at them with the grab and feint out. You can also change the direction your target will be thrown by aiming your camera. They'll be stunned for longer if you aim higher, meaning that you can throw them and follow up with a down slam without giving them the chance to counter. For Todo's brute force, the knockback is a true stun, meaning that if you ability feint the end lag and follow up with a swift kick, then they can't evasive out of the combo. It deals 34.5 damage. The same rule applies to the brutal impact and black flash variant of pebble throw. You can follow up with elbow drop, but it's a little harder and deals less, so. For Todo's pebble throw, the pebble forcing get up means that you can make this an untrue M1 extender that works almost all of the time on your opponent. Dashing around them makes it almost impossible for them to react unless they predicted that you would go behind them. The window for the pebble variant follow-up actually lasts quite a bit too, meaning that you can hit them with the pebble, back up to make them let their guard down, then follow up with the teleport since they don't expect it to last that long. Intentionally missing your pebble throw to create a second direction of attack is also a very good strategy. It puts the opponent in a situation where they're forced to gamble on whether or not you're going to swap with your pebble and dash in. Todo's pebble throw is also extremely good for movement in neutral since you can swift kick and elbow drop while in the momentum of the glide. For Todo's elbow drop, despite it not actually hitting a grounded ragdoll, it can still combo from a ragdoll. If you uppercut into elbow drop, then it will hit. Or if you perfectly time the elbow drop with the opponent getting up, then they won't be able to block or dodge it. If your opponent has a counter, then maybe don't consider this option though. Elbow drop also does not cancel momentum, meaning that you can side dash while activating it, and it's an unblockable engage. Elbow drop has the same effect of brute force in that it is also a true stun, meaning that the opponent cannot evasive out of the move until they crash into the ground. Using this, you can ability feint out of the elbow drop to follow it with brute force or swift kick and still have it be completely true and unevasivable. Now, I would make a combo section, but honestly, I think it's good if you use all the advanced ability techniques I mentioned to create your own. That's how you should play Todo. I'll let you have this one simple strong combo, however. And that's everything. I beg of you, please subscribe if you found this video helpful. I'll jump up and down with joy if you do, I promise, bro. Once again, I appreciate all of your support immensely, and don't forget about that Todo competition. Anyways, good luck out there, Tolgers. That's slang for Todo soldiers. Good luck becoming the greatest of Todos.